Hello watch fans, this is Anders here on Watch On channel. So now we have the new watches from Tudor, the 2023 models they have just revealed at Watches and Wonders in Geneva. And I think that Tudor, they are doing something really cool this time around. It's not original, it's not crazy, they're not making a lot of new models, but they are making some extremely cool iterations to the very popular Black Bay lineup of watches and one very cool retro dive watch. So why not have a look into the watches that they are presenting at Watches and Wonders? And of course also I must say I was completely wrong when I tried to guess what they are doing, because I guessed that they would do a solar powered sports watch. They didn't in any way. They actually did something very mechanical. So something that is interesting and something I think will be a huge hit for Tudor is the brand new Black Bay, the burgundy bezel in 41mm. So of course we know this watch. This is one of the watches that really revamped Tudor back in 2012, I believe it was. The new Black Bay watch, the dive watch, no date, vintage inspired dive watch in 41mm with the burgundy bezel insert. What they are doing now is a new version with the manufacturer caliber MT5602-U, so you get a top quality movement. And then they also actually provide this watch with two new strap options, so you can get it on the kind of Tudor style Jubilee bracelet. I do believe it is actually with the new Tudor extension in the clasp, so you get everything you want from a modern bracelet. I think this looks very cool. It's a cool combination. The Tudor Jubilee bracelet styles of bracelet, they're not completely Jubilee, they're kind of something, a mix between Jubilee and engineer style bracelets, and I really like the look of these bracelets. Also, something that is very nice is that you can also get this watch on a rubber strap if you want. My preferred version is definitely on the Jubilee style bracelet here. Maybe they will also expand this lineup with the blue bezel version, which was also very popular. What I'm interested in finding out is the thickness of this watch, because the older Black Bay versions, they were really thick. The one with the ETA movements, they were thinner than the newer ones with the in-house movements, and they simply just became a little too big for my taste. So I really hope that they did something with the thickness of this watch, just cut off a millimeter or two, and it would be very nice. Of a nice iteration to the Tudor collection in my opinion. And now moving on to one of the two biggest sensations of this new year of Tudor watches, and that is the brand new Black Bay 54. So of course we know the Black Bay, as we saw just before, in 41mm, and we know the Black Bay 58, which is a smash hit, a huge hit from Tudor. And they're not just expanding the 58 lineup, so this is a Tudor vintage inspired dive watch. This is something that comes very close to my biggest wish, which is a revamp of the Tudor Submariners. And this is a 37mm dive watch, 200 meters of water resistance with the in-house movement MT5400. A really good movement. I know this movement very well, very trustworthy movement, and I really applaud Tudor for actually taking the step to making smaller watches. We see with Rolex they're actually making the watches bigger. The Explorer went from 36 to 39 to 40, and also they made a Yardmaster in 42, and the Submariner went from 40 to 41mm. But Rolex subsidiary brand Tudor, they are actually scaling down. So I really like what I'm seeing. And also this watch actually looks very cool on the rubber strap. I would prefer it on the bracelet, or even maybe on a NATO strap, to really have this vintage inspired look. The bezel insert is aluminium, so you don't get a bezel insert made out of ceramic, and this is a cool little thing because you'll be able to scratch and actually fade out this bezel insert here when you wear this watch for years and years, which will just make it look even more vintage. So a really nice price at around a little short of $4,000 I believe, maybe $3,800, and I think that's a perfectly fair price. And you of course get all the nice new details with the bracelet. You don't get rid of the rivets on the bracelet, the fake rivets, so that is something you have to live with. I would definitely also consider putting this watch on a NATO strap, for example. So this is the second biggest surprise, or maybe the biggest surprise this year. Also, they did a couple of new watches for the Black Bay lineup. These are the more sporty dress style, everyday style watches, which are not dive watches. So 31, 36, 39 and 41mm versions of these watches. One of the new one is this kind of faded black dial with the gilded hour markings and gilded hands. and I think it looks nice. Definitely something to consider if you want an everyday cool watch. Again, a no date and with the in-house MT5400 COSC certified movement. But then moving on to something that is probably the biggest sensation of 2023 for Tudor, and that is the brand new Black Bay GMT in 41mm, but they are actually doing a white dial now. So we know this watch from the black dial, the Pepsi bezel insert, and we also know the rose gold version, the kind of coffee rose gold warm version. Now we get a white dial, and this is just such a cool thing. It's so weird. You do just this little change, which is change the dial from black to white, and it just looks and feels like a completely other watch. So I think this is a very interesting watch, and maybe something that is going to become a smash hit along with the Black Bay 54 we saw just before, because this is a cool little detail that they actually did to this watch. Again, with the stainless steel bracelet, you don't get any rubber strap with this watch, but you can get it on a NATO strap. I think this by far looks the best on bracelet, so this I'm sure will become a very, very big sensation. I believe these watches will be priced at around $4,000, a little more than $4,000 US, maybe $4,500 US. Again, it is on the bigger side, this watch, but if you want a very cool luxury Swiss made GMT watch, sports GMT watch, this is definitely a very, very good alternative to the unattainable and very expensive GMT masters from Rolex. It will be very interesting to see what people will relate the most to, maybe the Black Bay 54 or the new Black Bay GMT with the white dial. And then the last one is a new addition to the Royal lineup, and this is a chocolate dial with yellow gold bezel and gold tones to the bracelet and the hands and the hour markings. Of course also the logo. So if you want something very vintage inspired and something really nicely chocolate brown on the dial, I really like brown dials myself, then this new Tudor Royal could be something for you. A kind of weird watch, kind of a mixture between a lot of watches, and I don't really know how much success Tudor has with this lineup, but definitely an addition to the Tudor Royal. So this was the fast video here with the news from Tudor in 2023 revealed at the Watches and Wonders in Switzerland today. Which one of these watches is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I will see you very soon again. Thank you. Bye.